You know, typically when you hear about police and first responders in basketball, it's them responding to some sort of altercation or crime on the court. But coming up this Saturday, April 10th, the police and first responders will be in the action on the court, part of the first Changing One Life at a Time initiative, the brainchild of former Houston City Council member Dwight Boykins. Dwight joins me this morning along with HISD Police Chief Pedro Pete Lopez. Thank you both for being here. Dwight, tell me about this idea. How did this come about?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us, Canberra, and happy Easter to all Houstonians. You know, when last year, I think after the George Floyd situation, I started thinking about where I really believe that the ball had been dropped. Police reform was being talked about around the country about defunding police, which I do not support. And I thought it was another way we can do this without having an impact on reducing our police force in this city. So the idea of pulling together, my initial thought was what way we can do it without defunding police and bring the police and the community together. You know, I'm a product of the inner city, Canberra, and when I was growing up, we all grew up wanting to become a police officer or a firefighter. So I said, why don't we bring the police, the first responders back to the community at the level of the kids where they'll feel comfortable by using a game of basketball. So then I reached out to Dr. Latham with HISD, and I said, well, Dr. Latham, it has an impact on our inner city kids. You look at the Harvard-Stock Apartments complex, the CUNY Home complex, and different areas throughout our city. I said, and we continue to get these statistics about our kids having a challenging situation with the law enforcement agency. So she had me to reach out to Chief Lopez, and we put together a brainstorm of bringing kids together with the first responders. And on April the 10th, Saturday morning, we will have a basketball tournament bridging the gap between first responders and the inner city kids. And my goal behind this, Canberra, is to bring in as many non-African-American police officers to play against these kids, to break down the barrier of communication, to make certain that the police officers understand that because a kid has a hoodie and Skittles doesn't mean he or she is doing something they shouldn't be doing. And for the kid to say to the police officer, because he or she is not black, that they don't feel intimidated by that officer. So what we're doing is bringing it back to the community and allowing them through the game of basketball to meet these first responders. And then the first responders will have an opportunity to introduce those kids to the career choices that we will have there for them as well.
Right.
The four universities, TSU, U of H, HBU, and Rice to be there, and armed services. So that's kind of where we are. And the goal behind this is to break down the communication and racial barrier and allow one another to get to know each other.
So, Chief Lopez, community policing is a well-known concept, but maybe not in this form. What are your hopes for how something like this can work?
No, well, when Councilman Boykins brought this idea to me, I hope that when we initiated this project that we'll be able to build long-lasting relationships. I think that's the key that we're missing. You know, a lot of people talk about community policing and building trust, but it's only conversations. In order to build trust, you first have to have relationships. And this is not just going to play basketball for one day. Our plan and our hopes is to continue those relationships with these students and these kids after the basketball game. You know, we want to be mentors to our kids, you know, and one of the aspects of this program is that the Rice, HBU, and the colleges involved in this is going to give us the opportunity to give us some football tickets, baseball tickets. And after this event is over with, we're going to take these kids to these games and keep forming these relationships. Hopefully we build these relationships for 2-3 years until they get out of high school and possibly even in the future.
Right.
So that's our hope, to build long-lasting relationships.
You don't have any illusions about being able to actually win any of these games against these kids, do you?
Well, I do plan to volunteer to play against the 5th graders, so I think I could dominate them at my age. But no. I hope we win a few, but that's not the point of winning or losing. It's building relationships. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, Dwight, so how's it going to work? Next Saturday, this is a template for other kinds of event in this community. We have about a minute left, so to break it down for me.
Okay, we'll be at 4 different locations starting at 9 o'clock. I want to thank Pastor Terry Anderson with Lily Grove Church for allowing us to use his basketball gym on the southeast that will deal with the apartments. What are they called? Oh, South Lawn Apartments. South Lawn Apartments. Pastor DZ Cofield with his gym at Good Hope, where we'll be bringing in kids from the Greater Third Ward, Haverstock Apartments, we will play on their basketball court, as well as the CUNY Home Apartments, we will play on their basketball court, Gabrielle. So we're looking for volunteers. We will have COVID tests on the spot. The rapid test will be there on the spot. It's a safe environment. We have a great time. But the end goal behind this is to bridge the gap between our police officers, which we have, again, let me be clear, from Metro to Houston Police, HISD, TSU Police, U of H Police. We have all the law enforcement agencies participating to bridge this gap between our community and our law enforcement, and I know we can do it.
I want you to provide for me the information. People want to get signed up. Is there a website?
Well, to sign up and play, it's not really open to the public. It's just open to those communities. So we're doing marketing in those areas.
Okay. I'll put information on my website as well, though. Thank you very much. Chief, good luck against those fifth graders. I know that you'll be able to quit yourself pretty well.
I'm not playing. I'm not going to play.
Well, I know you don't have the skill set for that. Good luck next week. I'm going to put the information on the Newsmakers page on clicktohouston.com.